Ever wonder what it's like out there beyond the safety of the city, where the sand shifts and ancient secrets hide beneath the dunes? Well, let me tell you, there's more out there than spice and sand. The Wastelander Chronicles takes us into the life of a scrappy young scavenger girl and her family as they brave war-torn battlefields, hunting salvage and other buried secrets. Stay tuned, because this is one tale you don't want to miss. It's the Wastelander Chronicles, brought to you by O'Gary's Imports. O'Gary's Imports. If you want it, we have it. And if we don't have it, we'll get it. Join us now as we journey to the blistering sands of Arrakis, where we follow the adventures of the O'Gary clan, a pioneering family of salvage experts, as they scour war-torn battlefields and crash sites to discover their next great haul.
Hey there, everyone! Welcome back to the Wastelander Chronicles. I'm your Badlands Scout, Sally O'Gary, and I've got a crazy story for you. It all started when my dad announced a surprise salvage mission. It was just after sunset. Dad had spent all day, as always, minding our storefront and listening to the space traffic controllers going about their business on the community. I always tease Dad and ask how it is he can listen to those encrypted channels, and he just shushes me and tells me to clean my guns. But this was a day Dad's patience and extra-legal community receiver paid off. He overheard a distress call from the Leopoldus, a light freighter carrying machine parts out of Bella to Goose. Now, you might be thinking, Sally, what's so darn exciting about machine parts? But in the salvage game, we learned that a ship listing machine parts on its cargo manifest could be carrying anything from precision lasgun barrels to cybernetic eyeballs, so it's worth the trip. Of course, Dad's not the best with his numbers, so it was up to Mom to triangulate the coordinates and plot our course to the crash site in the Minor Erg. As always, when we piled into Clovis, our vintage 68 Chome Landmaster, Mom reminded us of the grim dangers waiting for us in the desert. Bandits, slavers, cultists, and of course, the old man of the desert himself, the Great Sandworm. When we finally arrived at the sector our coordinates were within, we hid Clovis under a tarp and moved in on foot. As always, it was up to me and my little brother Coda to scout ahead and look for danger. Now, you might be thinking, Sally, that seems like a grown-up job. Why would you and your cute little brother be sent ahead to scout? The truth is, we rely on that cuteness to lull our enemies into a false sense of security. Then, we kill them real good. Coda can separate a man from his jewels in less than 2 seconds. I've seen him do it. But after a whole lot of dust and nothing, we finally came up upon the coordinates marked on our map. And what do you know? The crash ship was nowhere to be seen. Of course, Mom and Dad immediately set to arguing about it while the rest of us fanned out.
You're an idiot, Finn O'Gary. Don't you dare blame my calculations on this fiasco. I should have listened to my mother and entered the sisterhood. At least then, I'd be married off to a man of consequence.
You wouldn't be married to anything but a mop and bucket. Instead of kids, you'd have hallways to clean. And you know those witches got a lot of hallways.
What do you know about the Bene Gesserit? You don't even know how to add.
I know one thing I'd like to subtract.
Hey, Mom and Dad? Look what Phaedra and Bree just
While my parents were bickering, my big sisters, Phaedra and Bree, had uncovered a hatch in the ground, beneath layers of sand and scree. It took some cutting, some prying, and a whole lot of cussing, but my dad finally got the hatch to open to reveal a ladder going down. Dad led the way, his glow cutting through the darkness as we descended for what seemed like an eternity. The smooth ladder shaft was marked with ancient warning signs in a language that Phaedra said was Proto-Galactic, whatever that means. Dad said it meant that the place at the bottom of the ladder was a part of the old empire. Finn Jr. said they were around a really, really long time ago and sent their scientists all over the universe to very cool stuff. Dad said finding their old stuff is our family pastime.
The fate of the O'Gary clan has always been tied to remnants of the old empire, whether it was back on Hagel or right here on Arrakis. Look at how we're drawn to one of their facilities without even knowing it was here.
When we finally got to the bottom of the ladder, we found ourselves in a small antechamber. That's when Mom noticed a series of small, almost invisible switches along the wall. With a little bit of trial and error, we activated the mechanism. A screen flickered to life, displaying a map of the facility. Dad examined the map and explained that we were in an auxiliary substation built to support nearby old Empire ecolabs with technical matters. This was very exciting for Dad because it meant that there were even more testing stations out there just waiting for us to find them. But for now, we had this substation before us. Mom figured out where we were on the map. It seemed we had entered through an emergency escape tunnel, but when we tried the door leading back to the main area, it wouldn't open no matter what we tried. Dad began to despair, but Mom kept her head and found us another route back into the complex through a twisty utility duct. But there was a catch. The utility duct was incredibly narrow, too small for any grown-ups to fit through. This was my moment to shine. With a quick pep talk from my mom and a promise to be careful, I wriggled into the tight space, inching my way forward. The walls closed in around me, but in true O'Gary spirit, I kept my cool, determined to reach the other side. About 30 meters in, I felt a tug on the safety rope tied around my waist. It had reached its limit. I couldn't go any further unless I disconnected it.
Sally, you're at the end of the rope. You want to come back home?
I can't turn around here. It's too tight. I'll have to disconnect and keep going.
Are you sure, Sally? It's an awful risk. We won't be able to help if anything goes wrong.
You didn't raise me to be a coward. What does Dad always say that Owen O'Gary is for?
Is it obnoxious? I thought it was obstinate.
You know it's silly. It's not dangerous. I'll be fine. Just keep a lookout for trouble. I unhooked the safety rope and kept pushing forward, fingers crossed that the passage would lead somewhere. The angle of the duct meant there's no turning back. If it was a dead end, I was surely a goner. But hey, what's an adventure without a little risk? I think I can see something up ahead. It's an access hatch. Here's hoping I can open it from inside. I made it! The access hatch opened onto a huge chamber, lit by a soft, eerie glow. It was a real treasure trove of ancient technology, preserved perfectly through the ages. I had found the mother lode. After marveling at my discovery for a spell, I managed to backtrack to the escape tunnel where my family was waiting. Now I understood why we were never able to open that door. It was blocked by a fortune power loader. Fortunately, the control pod was still in place, so I was able to move that great beast away from the door.
Honey, are you okay?
I'm fine, Mom.
Where are you going, Finn? Our daughter almost died, and you're more interested in salvage.
She seems fine to me. More than fine, in fact. She's spectacular.
Our daughter or the power loader?
Okay, excited for both? This is a VK5000 powered work loader. The last exosuit to come off the Van Holt assembly line before the company was split up into Combined Mercantile and the Float Space Shipping Company.
You mean...
Yep. The predecessors to CHOAM and the Spacing Guild.
After the explosion died down, we carefully extracted as much as we could carry, making sure to document everything for later study. It was our most successful expedition yet. Back at our shop, we spent days cataloging and cleaning our finds, preparing them for sale. And that's where you come in, dear listeners.
That's right, Sally. At O'Gary's Imports, it's our Old Empire extravaganza. And you won't believe our prices. We have SD converters. We have anti-induction modules. We have cobalt-tipped rams. We have articulated John doors for men and women. Come find us on the Agora Concourse of the Grand Souk and Arakeen. Because at O'Gary's Imports, if you want it, we have it. And if we don't have it, we'll get it.
Thanks, Dad. Until next time, this is your faithful Batman scout, Sally O'Gary, signing off and reminding you to always check your sys. And come back next time for another episode of the Wastelander Chronicles.